Hey everybody, Rose Matter here, and welcome to my reaction discussion for episode 2 of the Arcane TV show. Episode 1, of course, is the introduction to the world and the characters and all that good stuff. So, our main characters that we're focusing mostly on are two sisters, and I wasn't sure if they were like sisters or what was going on with that. They were obviously very close, but they are. So, there's Vi, who's definitely more kind of like the bruiser. She's very good at fighting. She's the older sister, very protective of her younger sister, who is Powder, who will eventually become Jinx. And the whole thing is like, how will Powder become Jinx? Because the two of them are very different from each other. Powder is just, unsure of herself, a little clumsy. She seems to always screw things up. And, it opens with, like, their family being killed by, I believe they're called the Piltovans. It's an army, and that is, like, the city that they live in. There's, the high society, and then there's, like, kind of like the underground where they live after being adopted by a man named Vander, who kind of, like, takes in, like, street kids. So, like, they're running with this group of kids who go around and basically are just trying to survive. They break into this inventor's house in the rich part of the city and blow things up, and the things that they took might be more important than they realize. And you can see that there's definitely like that class disparity. You've got the haves and the have-nots, and Vi is like, trying to make things better for her and her sister, but Powder seems to keep screwing things up. And so there's also a thing with like this, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a truce between Vander and some of the Piltovan like enforcers. One woman in particular whose name I forget, where like she came and was like, some stuff got stolen from this very important person, and like if you return the things, then I'm just like, we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. But Vander's trying to protect the kids. And we also have an introduction to a like antagonist. His name is, hold on, let me look it up. It starts with an S, I know that. Silco. So he is creating some sort of like, it looks like a drug that creates like almost like superpowers when injected into things. And I was saying, I'm wondering if that might be what he injects maybe into, like, my guess was like how Powder becomes Jinx, because they're two very different characters. Is maybe he, because there was a whole thing about like someone has to claim ownership, or they have to basically say that they're the ones who stole. And Powder is like, she feels guilty that she keeps screwing stuff up for everybody. So I was guessing that she is going to find out, and she's going to, claim that she was the one who did it. Somehow meets up with Silco, gets injected with this stuff, and becomes Jinx. That's my guess about how this happens. So, not like there was stuff that happened, but like it was just basically the setup about kind of like this like uneasy truce between like the lower parts of the city and the rich parts of the city. And it seems like things could pop off, like if nobody claims that they were the ones who stole from this inventor. And then there's this dude, Silco, who's like, he's doing something too. So I'm imagining we're gonna get some more information hopefully in this episode. I think I've gone on long enough. Let's go ahead, we'll watch the episode, and I'll give you guys my thoughts afterwards. All right, so I don't know if like it. All right, we're just having like this. Okay, so while this is going on, I'll say thank you guys very much for like the how popular the first episode react was. I wasn't sure how it was gonna go because it's like I'm not used to doing something that's not anime. Oh, never mind. It looks like we're just jumping right into it. Okay. Well, looks like we got some new characters here. Oh, this is his place. He's the inventor. Okay. Oh, I like. I doubt he's just straight up dead. Like we just, hey, here's a new character. No, okay, good. Okay, so we have Jayce and Caitlyn. Alright, we got the flashback here. Oh no, so obviously he did not have a good childhood either. It seems like none of these people do. Okay, so was that blue thing that he turned into like those little things that exploded? Wait, what? Okay, I was just like, what? This just dude shows up and was like, hey, look at this, look what I can do, and then just like, peace out. Oh, I wonder if he'll be able to bring the mom back. I was like, how did this guy find them? Like, they're just out in the middle of nowhere, too. So maybe this guy kind of taught him how to do what he's doing. Oh, that definitely looks... Maybe he used that as like a basis for what he created. So beautiful, man. The artwork in this is so good. Like, the animation is so good. Hey, she's alive. So that's probably what set him on the path, is like, I'm going to... Yeah, like, I'm going to invent stuff. Because he's obviously doing very well for himself. He's living the high life. Okay, here's the actual opening. Anyway, so yes, like I was saying, thank you guys so much for, yeah, the turnout for the first episode. I know people have been asking me to watch it, but I still wasn't sure, you know, like, because people are used to my anime reacts. I guess, like, animation is animation. If it's good, it's good. If it has a good story, and, like, and it looks nice, and has good characters, like, who cares, if it's anime or not? But I still wasn't sure. And yeah, I was corrected on some stuff as well. Because I said, I know really almost nothing about League of Legends. I know Jinx because I watched her trailer for her character introduction and I thought it was so cool and I watched it over and over again. And I know it's a game, obviously. But other than that, I really don't know much. Okay, so now that I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit, it's got like the two of them fighting each other. Interesting. And then it looked like, what looked like that Jayce guy, I think that might have been him. He had like a big hammer. That's the thing, is like whenever I watch the openings, the more I watch a show, I start to like catch things. All right, so we have a whole new thing about a council now. I wonder how he is going to factor into this. If he's going to join up with the other... Oh, and he's got the wristband there with the thing that that guy gave him. If he's going to join up with, like, the other main characters? Oh, hello. Oh my gosh. You're so cute. I'm assuming that that is like a race of character in League of Legends. It's like, so far it's just been people. So I guess it shouldn't surprise me that there's like little Little creatures as well. Also, is it bad for me to say that this Jayce guy looks pretty nice? Okay. Alright, so magic is... Okay. The Arcane, alright. So, magic is not seen as a good thing in this world, I guess. Or maybe it's just sanctioned or regulated. So yeah, he saw magic help save his mom, so he wants to learn to harness magic, probably to help other people too. Which means he will probably speak about magic. All right, nice. Okay. I mean, I'm all for new characters, but I was like, it's good to see these guys again. I love it. Vi. Yeah, I was gonna say it's Powder. Like she has her strength, or Jinx. I'll call her Powder for now. It's like she's an inventor too. She created that bomb that didn't quite go off last time, and she's a good shot, of course, right? Because like what I know of Jinx is one of the things is she's got her guns. So it's like, yeah, she's little and she's not very strong, but she's capable in her own way. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. Shit might pop off now. Ugh. Ugh. I don't like spit. Ugh. Oh, I mean, one thing I gotta give credit for is the guys down here. For the most part, they stick together. They don't snitch. Oh shit! No, she's got those little things on her, doesn't she? Yeah, she still has them. Shit. I wonder if Vi's gonna take the blame for it. Oh, is she gonna take the fall for it? Yeah, that whole like glow in the dark thing, that's very Jinx aesthetic from what I remember. It looks so good. And the chases, the one chase I've seen so far in the show is like they're so well done. Oh yeah, that little guy. Oh shit, I wonder if he's gonna tell them about what he overheard about like Vander's got that thing going on with the enforcer. And also, I wonder. I think I said in the last episode that like I have a feeling that Powder is going to give herself up because they're searching for them, and then she's going to get somehow she's going to meet that Silo guy and become Jinx. Okay. So that's how he ended up. Because I was going to say, obviously, he wasn't doing well for himself as a kid, but then got that family supporting him. Yeah, because he's good dad. He's awesome. Oh. So I'm wondering, it's like there's this tense kind of like stalemate between the what they call it, the top side and the downside, but I feel like it's gonna kick off. Oh, this is probably where he's gonna tell her about what's going on with Vander. Could you get a more guilty face? Oh my god. Oh, that's right. That's hilarious because that's right. It was a children's toy, right? The sharpest of minds. I love that. So passive aggressive. He's like, I'm struggling with this toy. Oh no. He's gonna, yeah, this is where he's gonna pop off right now. He's gonna mention the magic, isn't he? Yep. There we go. Okay, so is magic seen as like a bad thing in the society, or is it, like you said? Well, okay, that answers that question. I mean, the little guy, his professor definitely seems to think magic's not a good thing. Oh, she was saying about like we need something to put Piltover on the map, so maybe someone who can create magic. Maybe she'll be like, maybe she'll let him off the hook. And this is probably something that, if you know League of Legends, you probably know more about this, but I think you can. That seems to be a case in a lot of these stories about like magic is seen as a dangerous thing. Oh, I wonder if she's gonna be like, magic saved my life. Or throw him under the bus. Oh, no. I know she's probably doing. She's doing her best to save him, but he probably sees it as like a slap in the face. Be like, you wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for magic. I wonder if the woman, when Gold, if she's gonna. Oh, okay, no. So she's just saying about about just expelling him. But I wonder if she's gonna kind of pull him aside and be like, "Hey, let me help you out in secret." Because I'm guessing with him being expelled, he's not really going to have access to all the stuff that he used to have anymore. He's not going to be able to continue his research. Hey, there he is. I have said his name multiple times, and now I'm coming up short. I can't remember. Oh shit, he's gonna give him. He's gonna tell him exactly who it is. That's right, he found out from that kid that got beat up by Vi and the group. I'm guessing the dad is no longer there. Yes, exactly. I bet he's like, I'm doing this. Oh shit. I wonder if he's going to go with what is his name? The creepy bad guy who's creating like that serum. Silo or something like. I wonder if he's gonna maybe he's gonna find him somehow. Or maybe this guy. He said he's the dean of the council, so maybe he's going to work with him in secret. If he's been expelled, Dean won't really be able to like convince them to let him back in. Or maybe he will. I don't know. Oh, he's totally going to take it. Yeah, he's going to take it. Yeah, so I'm wondering with this guy if he has good intentions with this. Silco. Silco, not Silvo or whatever the heck I said before. Silco. I must remember. Why am I so terrible with names? These names aren't even that hard to remember. He's totally gonna give that to Jinx at some point. Now the question is, how will Powder and him meet? I keep thinking that Powder's gonna give herself up to protect everybody else because she feels like she's useless to the group. It seems to be kind of like a running theme about the different groups of people where it's just like taking risks to get what you want, for good and for bad. I wonder if this is going to end up killing this guy. And it's like, all right, we have to... He's like, I have to, like, alter it. And then maybe Jinx is kind of like his magnum opus, like, she's the one, you know, who, like, survived it. Wow. I guess that's how it is in upper society. Hey, maybe the two of them will run off together. So that's like his family name, right? Because his father, I guess, was like, they said that they were tool makers, but he's like, but I'm a scientist. And it's so sad. Like, he literally said, like she said about like his good character and how they were patrons and they believed in him. And now he's basically like just dirt on her shoe. She's like, you can't sit with us. That's right, because that's what he said. He's like, I'm gonna go find someone who will help me, and they're just, nope. Okay. Have they gone into like why her and Vander have this kind of this truce? Are they friends, or is it just because like it's for a more self-serving purpose? That guy doesn't seem too happy. I wonder if he's just like he knows what's going on with her and Vander, so he's just like doesn't agree with it. So he's like, I'm gonna go take matters into my own hands. And that's exactly what's happening. So yeah, he got that information from Silco. I wonder if the woman enforcer knows about it, and she's just keeping quiet, and he's going behind her back with information that she doesn't have. I wonder if Powder's gonna screw this up somehow, because that's always the thing about how like she ends up messing things up, and I wonder if she's gonna get them caught. It's so tense. Like, you could just tell, like, there's just one little thing. Oh, no. Oh, Powder, no, no, no. It's just so tense, like, up top, like, everybody wants to fight. Down, oh, come on, Powder. Close the door, close the door, close the door, close the door. Oh my gosh. Close it, close it. Oh my gosh. Ugh. And they do such a good job at, like, those tense moments. The problem is, they know that he's, like, shielding the kids. They're just gonna keep coming back. Are they just gonna, like, they're gonna run away somewhere? Okay. And you're just like, he's like, oh, take my toy and go home. He's just all mad that it's just like, oh, they don't respect my power. But the problem is, it seems like people are starting to kind of lose respect for Vander a little bit too, because they're like, we need to fight, and he's just not doing it. Well, that feels like some foreshadowing. Yeah, I mentioned at the end of the last episode that I was like, it was driving me crazy. I'm like, the whole vibe of this world is giving me, like, reminding me of something, and then I remembered it was Dishonored. And that moment with that, like, bridge with the fog and stuff, I'm like, holy cow, I love it. Like, it shows it looks like a memorial thing for people. I love those little things where it just kind of like does that storytelling without saying anything. It's like show, don't tell. Wait, what? Wait, what does he mean by that? He's like, if I hadn't done that, your parents would still be alive. He's just like, she's like, maybe the other two, not so much, especially Clagger, because he talks shit about Powder all the time. Exactly. I feel like this could go multiple ways. I feel like either Powder's going to give herself up, Vander's going to give himself up to protect them, or maybe even Vi will give herself up to protect Powder. It's just the not knowing right now. Oh, well, shit. Yeah, he's probably just like, yeah, I've got nothing to live for. Obviously, he will, because they're not just going to introduce this important seeming character and then just let him die. Oh boy. Right, so Viktor is obviously going to go behind the council's back and help him with his studies. But my thing is, what is he getting out of it? Oh no, this is not good. She's having a whole speech right now, and she seemed so like, when she was waiting at that door, she looked so conflicted. Powder, I think, knows something's up. Vi's gonna do something. She's gonna go behind everybody's back and do something. So that is it. So she's like, I'm trying to stop a war from happening. Oh, that Vander? He had that thing that he put under the bar. So maybe he's sending them a note. So maybe while Vi is going to do something, maybe Vander is also trying to do something. It's like they're trying to beat each other to the punch. To maybe like take the blame for it or stop things from happening. And the fact that, yeah, she gave Powder the bunny. This is not good. I like the music. I like most of the music that they put into this. What's gonna happen here? Are they gonna bust in? Did Vander like maybe send a note to her saying he's gonna like give himself up? What's happening right now? Something's happening. They're coming down for somebody, but I'm like, who is it? Who is it? I feel like the way Vi is acting, it's probably gonna be her. Yep, I think so. Oh, I think Vander realizes it too with that bunny. Oh shit. Yeah, I think she's gonna give herself up. Yep. Oh man. Okay. So, good place to end that. Because it's just like, all right, we can see what's happening here. So maybe that's it. Instead of her being like, we need to fight, she's going to be like, no, I'm going to give myself up. I'm going to take the blame for everything to protect everybody else. Because I felt like it could go 3 different ways. So it seems like that's the way it's going to go. All right, so interesting second episode. So we had some new characters introduced. The big two seeming to be Jayce and Viktor. Jayce being a scientist who wants to create magic, and good to know about like the fact that magic is seen by some people as dangerous, as something that is looked down upon in that world. Certain people are born with it. The whole what this show is called Arcane, so that's obviously going to be a big part of this whole story. And getting the backstory about why he wants to create magic, about how it seems like he wants to do it for the betterment of society. And this Viktor guy, it seems, I don't know what his motivations is. Maybe he's just interested in the progression of science. He's just interested, this is just something new, because that's the whole thing about scientists, right? It's just they do it, a lot of them, they don't do it for money or fame or anything. They just do it for the pursuit of knowledge and trying to discover new things. I'm wondering, though, if, maybe Jayce is going to encounter Silco at some point, and maybe Silco will use Jayce's, knowledge of, this magic thing, and maybe he'll use that for his own purposes. Because you have to assume that, Jayce, he's going to be integrated into the story in some way, but the thing is his whole magic thing, how is it going to happen? And then the big thing at the end being going back and forth with the underworld wanting to fight back against the top world and the Piltovian enforcers, and there's that whole the truce going on, but the tensions are kind of spilling over, and Vi especially wanting to fight while Vander is trying to quell everybody and be this has happened before, it didn't work out well. I'm sure they both see it from the same sides, Vander seeing the flashback at the very, very beginning of Arcane and about the army just killing people. So he probably wants to prevent that from happening again, whereas Vi probably sees that, watch that army kill her family and wanting revenge and having a grudge against them, deservedly so. So she wants to fight back. And it seemed at the end, when she talked with Vander, he kind of calmed her down a little bit, saying we can't do this again. So it seems like she's giving herself up. Instead, she's offering herself as the sacrifice to protect Powder. So I'm wondering with that, if she gets taken away, I'm wondering if somehow Powder is their main person is gone. Vi is she's the powerhouse, she's the leader of the group, and I imagine it's probably going to splinter after that. So maybe Powder's going to be I need to make myself stronger, and maybe somehow she will encounter Silco, because Silco knows about the 4 children. So, and he seems to be wanting to experiment with that other guy. So he's using, it seems the orphan children on the underside as his experiments to perfect whatever the serum is. So that, I imagine at some point she's probably going to interact with him, but I'm wondering how that's going to happen. So it feels like the pieces are kind of coming together a little bit. So I'm wondering, with Vi, she's going to be taken in by the enforcers, how that is going to fracture the group and what's going to become of them, what's going to happen, as a result. And we know obviously they get older, Powder's a child, and then, Jinx is older. So I wonder if there's going to be a time jump and show what happens to everybody afterwards. So I'm really excited to see that. So it feels now with Vi giving herself up to the enforcers and kind of showing the different characters and their motivations with Jayce, with Silco, with the underground, what's going to happen, and how they're going to kind of interact with each other and how it's all going to come together. So that'll be interesting to see. It feels after that, the first 2 episodes, we should be moving on. I imagine there's going to be a big time jump, especially because for some reason I thought there was 12 episodes in Arcane. There's only 9. So that's a lot. That's a lot to have to cover in a short amount of time. And showing at the very beginning, I didn't catch that with Vi and Jinx, as they're older, it seemed like they're actually fighting each other. So I'm wondering if maybe Silco gets his hands on Powder, and then she becomes Jinx, and maybe her mind is just warped or wiped, her memories are wiped or whatever, and maybe he turns her into some sort of super soldier, and they encounter each other later, and then they're like, they have to fight each other. I'm really interested about that, like what's going on with that. So yeah, I think that's all I want to talk about. It was a good episode, and I'm excited to see like what's going to happen now that things are like moving along. So if there's anything that I missed, as long as it doesn't spoil anything, feel free to leave them in the comments. I hope you guys did enjoy my reaction discussion to episode 2 of Arcane, and stay tuned next week for episode 3. Until then, bye guys. Special shoutouts to my top tier patrons: Revealing Storm, Asborn Kennedy, Harry Gazif, Icognito, Jared Fan, Poxy, Joel Oostman, and Zoran Ether.